Hey everyone, I'm Heather Gabrielle, and today's guest is someone who truly lives and breathes basketball. He walked on at the University of Alabama, earned a starting spot at point guard, and helped lead the Tide to the Elite Eight in 2004. After nearly 2 decades coaching and recruiting at Bama, all that hard work paid off because in 2023, he took over as head coach at Kennesaw State. Please welcome Antoine Pettway.
Thank you, Heather. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be on here with you.
Yeah, have you been? What's been going on?
Oh, I've been great. We actually just got done with practice not too long ago, and then one of my players had a serious accident, car accident, so he's back healthy now. I mean, he's in rehab, improvement. So today was his first day coming back to campus, so I got a chance to walk him around and hang out with him a little bit. So it's been a really good morning so far.
Yeah, that's great. That's good. So I want to start off in the beginning.
Okay.
What first drew you to the game of basketball growing up in Alabama?
I would have to say it was my dad. He was a longtime high school coach. I had the privilege of being coached by him all the way from the ninth grade all the way up to my senior year. He coached me throughout my high school career, and so he put a basketball in my hands at a young age, and I think he just empowered me to go and chase my dreams. I remember, we had a convenience store, Pettway's place, right there on Highway 5 in Alberta, Alabama, and we had a little cement out in front of it. And I would spend countless hours working the store. And then between customers, I would go outside and just work on my handles right there on the cement. So, man, he would always make sure I had a basketball goal in the yard to work on my game. Back then, we didn't have as much access to a gym when I was growing up. So we learned how to play on, out there on the dirt. So I would have to say my dad was the one that really like pushed me to be a good basketball player.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, like, do you remember how it felt when you got to be accepted as a walk-on at Alabama?
Yeah, so I would tell you that story. So, all right, so imagine this. So my 12th grade year, we win the state championship at Wilcox Central. I'm voted as one of the top five overall players in the state of Alabama. It's my lifelong dream to play at Alabama. And so Coach Godfrey and Coach Pearson, who's actually one of my assistants at Kennesaw, they come down to see me on the last day of the recruiting period. And they basically, I'm praying the whole night before they offer me a scholarship because I really want a scholarship to go play at Alabama. They end up just offering me a chance to walk on. And so to answer your question, I was a little bit disappointed because I really wanted a basketball scholarship. But Coach Godfrey, exact words to me was like, come show that you belong. Come show that you deserve a scholarship, and I will give you one your next year, your next season. And he was true to his word. He was a man of his word. I came in every single day, held to work my tail off. I tried to be early to practice, be one of the last people out of the gym, and had a decent freshman year. But I'll never forget. I was at my mom's house, sleeping on the floor watching the game. Like I had watched the game and fell asleep, and I got a call. And Coach Garvey said, "Meet me at Coleman Coliseum in an hour." And my mom got up, got a car, gassed up. We drove up there, and the summer going into my sophomore year, he gave me a scholarship, and it was one of the happiest days of my life.
Man, that's so awesome. I know my dad told me a little bit, but I wanted to hear from your perspective how you felt. Because I
Mhm.
know back then getting into Alabama was a big deal.
Yes.
Like, I know once you get the opportunity to play a sport there, it's like, you're set. You're like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, yeah, this is like the best thing ever.
No doubt. No, the resources you're provided with, man, and just, the legacy you can live, that you can build there, and you can leave there. When I got there, man, like I said, I grew up rooting for Alabama, and then it was like unheard of for anybody from my community to basically play on TV at Alabama. All those dudes we felt like were rock stars because we never really saw them, and like they were just the world, like it was just two different worlds. And so I think I helped my community out as well. Like they got a chance to see somebody that grew up right there in their community that they can walk over to my mom's house, and they actually got a chance to wake up on Saturdays and see me on TV playing. And so I always carried that pride of, coming from Alberta, Alabama, and Union, Alabama, Greene County and Wilcox County. And I always carried that pride when I played.
Yeah, that's really awesome to hear. Like I know you really did make a big impact here in Alabama. Like Gary Harris still talks about
Oh
you.
yeah, oh yeah.
He still talks about you all the time.
Great guy.
But yeah, I was like thinking about throughout your college career, describe a play that you made that still sticks with you to this day.
Okay, oh no, that's easy for me.
Okay.
It's the Florida game, my sophomore year, and it was to win the SEC championship outright. And I always give my wife, I mess with her all the time because that was one of the only games. She was my college sweetheart, and she decided not to come to that game. Her sister was getting married though, so I always give her a hard time. She missed that shot, but Heather, it was we were both tied in the SEC standings, and whoever won the game was going to basically win the SEC championship outright. And I ended up scoring the winning basket with no second on the clock. It was a layup. Ernest Shelton found me. I went back door and got a layup, and then that was one of the only times Coleman Coliseum when I played there that they stormed the court. And with everybody, the whole student session, the whole gym just stormed the court. We were on scores table, me and Rod, your Uncle Rod Gazar. We was on scores table, dapping each other up, jumping around. And I never forget. I left the game, and me and my mom went to Red Lobster to eat to celebrate. And then the man came out and was like, "Listen, we just saw that shot. Your money's no good here today. We're paying for the meal." And I was like, just super excited about that. That's a feeling I'll never forget.
I know those biscuits were great. They shut down Red Lobster here, so like I miss the biscuits, but
Oh, those biscuits are awesome. Oh
I
my
used to get
goodness.
full off those biscuits. Like I didn't have to have dinner. I could just
That's
eat
it.
the biscuits.
Eat the biscuits, you good.
Just bread and water was great. You talked about how you grew up in Alabama and it was like seeing like people on TV for college basketball, they were like rock stars to you and to your community. And I was wondering, is there a player that you looked up to and modeled your game
Yes.
after?
Yeah, so it was so many guys on that because like I said, I grew up, and so back when I was growing up, they used to have the games on this network called Jefferson Pilot Sports, and every
Mm.
Saturday around noon, 1 o'clock, University of Alabama would pop up and play. And a guy that I absolutely loved watching was Hollywood Robinson. He was out of Jackson, Mississippi. He was one of my favorite players. He used to dribble the ball so high, chew his gum, but he could shoot it. I actually always look stuff up on him, like, because I'm like a hoops junkie. I didn't even realize he was a McDonald's All-American. He played at Murrah High School in Jackson, a legendary program. But that was somebody I absolutely love watching. I also love watching like Spreewell. I love watching guys like Robert Ory. Like I was just a crazy Alabama fan, man. And even I remember when I got there, just seeing some of the dudes like Tariq London and some Alfred Moss, like these are dudes I would watch play at Rod, Rod Gazar, like they were superstars to me, and I was actually gonna be on the team with them, and I could not believe it, man. But I just always wanted to work my tail off and just show them and show myself that I belonged on that same court with those kind of caliber of players.
Was there like challenges, when it comes to like working hard, like proving yourself and wanting to make sure you were like the best that you could be on the team? Like, what is something that you maybe like had trouble with, like mentally or physically? Like, what is something that you
Yeah, no, you know for sure. First my size, I'm not the biggest, you know what I mean? So I
know?
had to have that much more heart. But one of the things, I give Coach Godfrey so much credit, for where I am today and for playing me and what I was able to do at Alabama because a lot of times when you invite walk-ons, they just become practice players. Like he's a true man of his word. Like he told me, if you earn it, you're going to get it. And I just continue to work my tail off, and like a lot of things fell my way. But one of the biggest things, the reason why I respect him so much, he had the courage to play a walk on. When a lot of time coaches in his position, they're ready to go play the higher rated players, and hey, just sit over here and be a practice player where he would actually put me in games. I remember one of the first big games he put me in was Alabama versus Louisville in
Mm.
Tuscaloosa. And I went in and made two threes and scored like 8 points in 7 minutes. And it just from then on, I gained his trust, and he kept throwing me in the game, every night. And that was my freshman year. And so I just give him so much credit to just believing in me and having the courage to put me out there on the court.
Yeah, so, I'm a 2000s baby, so can you take me back in time? Like, basketball has changed a lot over the years. So, like, I want to know from like your perspective, what was the atmosphere like on game days? How was the energy in the locker room? Even like the intensity with your rivals back then? Because I know it was much more like grittier and much more like, like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So back then, so modern basketball, we play a little bit. We play a whole lot faster. Back then, when another one of your uncles, Irvin Dudley, we were
Mhm.
walking it down and throwing that ball into him every single time we could, and rightfully so. Like he was the SEC Player of the Year, he needed to touch the ball. Nowadays, we're running and gunning. You know what I mean? The bigs are basically like slam dunking, catching lobs, so they can step out and shoot threes. So it's not a lot of teams that use a back to the basket big. But I'm telling you, like back then, and I think right now, like the rivalries are really, really amped up. Like I know back then we didn't like Auburn, they didn't like us.
Mhm.
We really didn't like Mississippi State, and they didn't like us. One of my best friends, George Brooks, we always talk about some of the battles I would have with some of the guys that he coached, and like we really didn't like them dudes, and they were great guys off the court, but we didn't care. Like Auburn and Mississippi State, we had no love for each other, and I don't know how it is today, but like we stuck with our guys. Like it was Alabama. If I'm with Irvin Dudley and Reggie Rambo and we run into the Mississippi State guys, we don't know what might happen, but we know they wasn't friend of ours. So and when we got on the court, I mean, we fought it out, man. It was every play. I mean, every possession, it meant the world to us. Like we going into the game the whole week, we're not sleeping. We literally locked in to winning your matchup. And that's something I'll never forget, man. Having each other's back, when the ball got tipped up, we knew we was gonna give everything we had to make sure Alabama was finished on top.
Do you remember like any trash talk, like anything that
Oh
stuck out
yeah.
to you?
Oh
Like,
yeah. So like Mario Austin was he's from Sumter County. So he's a Bama boy, but he went over to Mississippi State and he was a really, really good player. And so, I would always mess with Dudley when we got ready to play him. Like, here we go again. This is the only player you can't do anything with. You can't stop Big Mario, Super Mario. That's what we always used to call him. So we would get no, amped up, and then he would talk about Derek Zimmerman, their point guard. He always would shake me and make me fall and stuff like that. So we would be amping each other up, talking trash to each other. And then, but when we got in the game, like all the trash talk turned on the other team. Like we would just talk noise. You can't guard me. All
yeah.
types of stuff. So it was really really amped up, man. But those games, I'm telling you, Heather, those games were so. I'm trying to say it was so just crunk, just everybody playing just so hard, just trying to win for that name on the front of the jersey. Not so much name on the back, but they were
Yeah.
playing for Mississippi State. We were playing for the Alabama Roll Tide, and it was like we're not losing this game in Coleman Coliseum in front of our home fans. So no, it was awesome.
Yeah, I know the songs were lit too,
Oh
so
yeah, oh yeah, oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So that helped.
No doubt. DMX. We used to rap
Yes.
talk about the DMX, all that kind of stuff. No, it was great. It was great.
Yeah. So changing a little bit here, so changing from the player role to now in your coaching role, what
Mhm.
was the biggest challenge during that transition?
Um, I was just thinking, you used to doing it yourself and going out there and playing, and then you had to transition to being able to teach guys and make sure they comprehend and teach them how to play the game the right way and to have the right kind of thoughts. Like go out there with your team winning first and foremost in mind, and then everything falls in place from there. All right, but that's something that I kind of never had a problem with because, like I said, I was so blessed to even be out there playing for the university that I had grew up cheering for and rooting for. And so that's something I always want the mindset with my guys, like go out there and play for your teammates. And then you gonna get as much like awards and you're gonna be celebrated, but do it for your team and then you're gonna rise. Like you gonna be celebrated, but your mindset need to be all about the team first. And that's something that in today's age, like I don't think, I think that's rare. A lot of guys, they want me, 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 look at me, look at me. But when you find a team and you find the guys that are caught up in making sure their brothers taken care of, serving their brothers, then you got a chance to win championships.
Yeah, that actually brings me back. So it's like, you had the NIL.
Oh yeah.
How does that like recruit your recruiting style? How does that like affect your recruiting style?
Oh no, it's changed recruiting tremendously. Before it was more relationships and also basketball. Like how does that those are the two main things. Like how does it affect me basketball wise? Like is it a good basketball fit? Is it a clear path to the court? Then is, do I trust you? How's this relationship? Does my parents trust you? Where now, when you add NIL and money, which I agree, give these guys money. They earn it, they deserve it. But now that is a real factor in the conversation. It is just as important as those other two. It's just as important as a relationship, and a lot of times in the situation, it's just as important as the basketball situation. And so it has changed the recruiting landscape tremendously, like in college sports. Like you literally have to compete and have enough resources and finances to get to the table first and foremost. Because at some point you can be priced out. You can really be priced out, can't afford to even sit at the table. You may have a great basketball situation and have a great relationship, but if the numbers not right and these other people have, everything else equal with the other people, they're gonna choose the money.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's in football too. It's like in pretty much in every sport. I feel like, and I feel like it's not. I talked to my dad about this. I was like, Dad, it seems like it was more like about you're playing for the people around you and you're
Yes.
playing for like the community and the fans. Now it's like they're more of like, okay, but when am I gonna get paid? Like, how much
Yeah.
am
Oh
I gonna
yeah.
get first? And then
Yeah.
I'll focus on all that later. But
Hmm.
he was saying it was more about, you're paying for like the brotherhood for each other. And
Hmm.
he was like, it was more genuine and more authentic in that way.
That's
So
all we
he's like,
had.
yeah, he's like, it changed a lot.
Yes.
So you don't find that in teams often. So yeah.
When you do, you better hold on to it. Like when you find guys that, that's about the brotherhood and the camaraderie still, like those are the teams that win, that overachieve. You can't have a bunch of individuals concerned about, he getting paid this, why I'm not getting paid that. When you can
Mm,
manage that, that's why, it's coaching has gotten a little harder because you have to manage all that now. You got to make sure that guys are paid like fairly, and also make sure that it doesn't infiltrate the locker room and that guys really still like each other and want to be a part of something bigger than themselves. And like I said, I'm in agreement. Like, let's pay these guys. Let's make sure that we take care of these guys financially. But I also want it to be where it's a basketball decision still. It still comes down to like you trusting me and me trusting you and us having a real time relationship where I can coach you and push you and give you a great college experience and not just be about the money.
yeah.
Hmm.
So like when you first took the job at Kennesaw State, what was like your vision for like the team? What did you want to change? What steps did you want to take to like help Kennesaw State?
Yep, yep. No, I actually was blessed. Hell, I came into a great situation. The late Amir Rahim, I came in after him, and he had just took this program to a NCAA tournament berth, and a ASUN championship. And I had a good culture. A lot of the guys left and went with him to South Florida, but I also had a good culture to where like I had some guys left over. I had some dudes that really, really like understood what winning was about. And so my vision was that I wanted to continue that. I really wanted to bring some dudes in that cared about Kennesaw State, that cared about like us having success more so them just scoring a bunch of points, us not winning. So my vision was to go guys, bring in the guys that had the necessary talent because I knew we were going to Conference USA, a better league. So I wanted to go get the talented players, but I also wanted to hit the jackpot and go get guys with high character and with great work ethic. And so that was my main vision, get the guys with not top tier talent, but they have the high character and have a tremendous work ethic. And I think when you put those dudes together, a bunch of like-minded guys that are internally motivated, you can overachieve. You can go win championships. But to your question, man, I came in after a guy that really, really did it the right way. And so I had to come in and be myself, but also I started, with a leg up on probably normal people coming into a job because he had already instilled in some of the guys that were here, instilled into this community that we could do it and we could do it the right way.
Yeah, that's good. So, meeting the men there that are playing, like they look up to you. You have so much wisdom, and I want to know like what advice do you give to them when they step on that court for practice or for games? What do you say to them?
One of the main things I always tell my teams is that you only get this opportunity with this team. You know, with the transfer portal now, you can leave every year. With the NIL, people are always transferring. So I tell dudes, take advantage of every single day you get to lace it up and be next to your brothers. Like we build our thing on love and trust, and we talk about serving each other. Like that's the advice I give to any player that comes to Kennesaw State. Serve your brother. Like, cause my job is to serve you, and I want to in turn to you to serve your brother next to you, love, trust each other, and enjoy this because it's gone just like that. Like this thing is gone in a, like you winking it, your whole college career is gone by. So enjoy every single day that you get to lace it up with your brother because this is the only chance you get with this team. And I got a group of guys, man. I probably love and believe in them to a fault. Like that's something they gonna get. And I tell them the best thing I can give somebody is my belief, and
Mm.
that's something I'm willing to die on that hill. You know what I mean? Once you become a part of this, I just think we work so hard, and I just believe in my guys, and I love them so much, and I that's something I'm never gonna change. It may burn me in the future, but I'm willing to get burned for that reason there. But I think for the majority of the time, these guys gonna run through a wall for you and you're gonna be able to overachieve when you got a group of dudes that's talented enough, that possess high character, that have work ethic, and that know you believe and love them.
And I feel like you're a great example for the team, you know. I feel like you set the standard of like still showing up, whether you're tired, whether you're, long days. I feel like you're the great example to show the
Appreciate
men
it.
they're like, hey, well, my coach is showing up, so I need to show up too and give it my all. So I feel like you really do a good job at that.
Thank you so much. Nah, this is a privilege. I'm super blessed, man. I got a tremendous family. I get to come to work and see some tremendous guys. I work with my family like Willie Watson, Donovan Cates, like Philip Pearson. I just talked about they recruited me to Alabama, Jamie Bay. I'm surrounded by family. You know what I mean? My players are my family. I got a wonderful family at home. Like I don't have much to complain about, if any. I promise you I don't.
So what's your message to the fans and the community there? Like, what
Yeah.
do you, yeah.
Yeah, no, so I always tell them like it's super important to me and my program that we put a product out there that they can be proud of. And so we work every single day with that in mind. That we want to put a product out there on the court that this community, that this university will be proud to call their own. And so every single day we working. We're working. We want to be the hardest playing team, the hardest working team in the country. And when you come to the games, we want to give you a reason to be loud and we want a tremendous home court advantage. But it starts with our community and with our students here at the university because my guys feed off. They feed off that energy. When the convocation is packed, we play with tremendous energy. So I want them to keep coming out supporting this group, but just know that every day we're striving to keep putting a product out there that they feel proud of to call their own.
That's good. And so my final question, I've been wanting to know this. So what's up with the red shoes? Like,
Oh yeah, so let me see what made me. So we were all it was Roy Resort, y'all, because again we were all at Foot Locker in Tuscaloosa at University Mall, and it was the summer before my I think my freshman year or my sophomore year, I think my sophomore year, and we always like we saw these new hyper flights, and I think Nike's about to re-release them, but they were red, and so I bought mine. Rod bought his, like a bunch of us bought them from the store, and but they wore theirs. They practiced in theirs in the summertime. I saved mine to the game. And so I saved, and then we played, and then that year we played Kentucky in Rupp Arena, and Dick Vitale, if you know Dickie V, he had the game, and I had like 17, 18 points. We beat Kentucky at Rupp, and I didn't know, but I started getting calls once we got on the plane after the game. Was like Dick Vitale just talked about your shoes all night, and he was like, "Oh, he got a pretty jump shot, but those shoes are ugly, baby. They're ugly. You got to take those off." So it kind of kept growing from then on, after that Kentucky game, and I just kept wearing them and then it started, we would go on the road and the Wizard of Oz. Have you seen the Wizard of
I have
Oz?
seen the old one
The
and
old one, when
yeah,
Dorothy had
yeah,
the little red shoes, she would click them together. And
yeah.
So I never forget going to Arkansas and the whole student session, every time I checked in the game, would start calling me Dorothy because of the red shoes. Like, Dorothy, go home, or we want to go home, or something like that. And so the crowd was chanting that. And so at home, the Bama fans loved it. On the road, they gave me the blues because they would be calling me Dorothy, having signs up and everything. So I just kept wearing it. And Nike actually sent me a pair when we went to the Elite Eight to wear in the games as well.
Yeah, do you have them in a case or
My
somewhere?
wife made me put them in. So I gave them away. I gave them away to some really good Alabama friends. I gave them to Miss Evelyn, who's like family to us. I gave them to Mike Adams. So I was constantly like, I didn't think now, when you're young, I'm like, hey man, here you go. You want it? Here. And so my wife, even back then, she was like, no, we're gonna save it. And so you coming to our house right now. I'm actually having the team over tomorrow. Like I got a little case that she made with my name on it and the shoe in there. But
So
cool.
yeah, I've been looking at the red shoes. I was like, my mom brought me to that attention. I was like, wait, Uncle Pet wore red shoes? He's like, yeah. I
Oh
looked it
yeah.
up. I looked it up. I was like, oh, there's the red shoes. I'm like, you're the only one that wore red shoes.
Yes, yep. I was the only one that wore, and I'm telling you, we all had them, but they just played in theirs all summer long. And so by the time the season came around, they ended up wearing some newer shoes or whatnot. But when I bought them, I put them up for the whole summer, and then I just brought them out that first game.
Yeah, those I feel like those shoes are like famous now. I would have like kept them and like maybe put like do like an auction or something. Yeah, like I really would.
I love
Yeah,
it.
but any like what's next for you? What's next for the team? What's going on?
Yeah, so we're getting ready to start our season. First official practice in I think like the last week of September. We got our first exhibition game is going to be October 26th versus West Georgia in the Convocation Center on Kennesaw State's campus. First home game November 3rd. We come to Alabama on December 21st in Huntsville. We play Alabama, and I think another big game will be November 16th, South Florida here in Kennesaw. So the season's right around the corner. My guys just started school last week, I think. We've been in school a week, so they're doing well. Got off to a great start academically. They're focused and working their tails off. Man, I'm excited about this year. I'm super blessed to be in the position I am. We're one of the biggest schools in Georgia. I think we had like 50,000 students right now, and so this campus is pumping right now. It's really live, and my student athletes are having a really good experience, and that's important to me.
Yeah, that's great. I'm excited for you. I want to watch a game. I know I'm coming to a game.
Yes,
Dad
yes.
promised, so I'm keep holding him to it. So
I love
yeah.
it. I love it. But tell him when the game you come to, I'm getting on the grill. To whatever game
Yes.
you come, I'm getting on the grill. I'm gonna do some chicken, some steak. We doing something.
Yes,
I,
I love all of that. I'm a foodie, so I'll eat anything. So,
I love it. I love
so
it.
yeah, I'm so excited you took the time to talk to me today. Yeah, I wish you know
Great.
what, I'm sending positive vibes your way for the team. So,
Thank you.
so
Thank
yeah,
you.
I'm really excited for you. And yeah, just keep me updated with what's going on.
I will, man. You did a great job. You did a tremendous job. You a natural. So just keep doing what you're doing. Keep
Thank
going. I
you.
appreciate you having me on.
Thank
All
you. I'm
right.
doing my best. All right, I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. All right,
All
Heather.
right, bye bye.